Once black people get guns in this country, the gun laws will change. Trust me.
If Behar were in front of you, what would you say to her?
Well, I thought that what she said was offensive because it implies that black people are not responsible gun owners.
I'm not sure of how what co-host of The View, Joy Behar, said implies that black people aren't responsible gun owners, but they had to make an argument somehow, and there's more where that came from. So I'm going to go through the rest of this Newsmax interview, point by point, to poke holes in some of the toughest materials in the world. By the way, this is Diamond and Silk. They would probably intentionally inaccurately interpret anything I say like they did with this Joy Behar statement. So I'll say something nice about them. As you'll see today, Diamond and Silk are great at co-signing one another. Now, what you may have missed from that clip from The View and what Diamond and Silk don't address was co-host Sunny Hostin supporting Behar when it comes to laws being changed in response to black people's access to guns, saying,
But black people have been buying guns. The numbers went up in 2020. The numbers went up during the pandemic. Look it up.
Oh, and if you didn't know, that's an example of a cosign. Call Behar and Hostin Ivory and Caramel. Moving on. In 1967, 30 members of the Black Panthers protested on the steps of the California State House in Sacramento, armed with shotguns and pistols, and announced the time has come for black people to arm themselves. This led to then Governor Ronald Reagan to pass the Mulford Act, a state bill prohibiting the open carry of loaded firearms, along with an addendum prohibiting loaded firearms in the state capitol. The NRA actually backed this bill, and the following year, a federal law called the U.S. Gun Control Act was passed.
Now, all of a sudden, black America is buying guns.
This is true. Gun ownership among black people did increase since the start of the pandemic, and every other race was well represented in purchasing more guns and being first-time gun owners too. For black people, this could be because of a deep distrust in law enforcement and because anti-black crimes were the most common among hate crimes.
And now they want to put these laws in. Who want to put the laws in, these new gun laws? Her party. The party that she represents,
That's right.
The party that she advocates for. So you see, she was having a KKK moment.
Yep.
This is the new Jim Crow era, and they have a problem with black people owning guns.
The party they're referring to is, of course, the Democratic Party. And as we've talked about a few times now, the gun crime rate is lower in blue states compared to red states. This is due in large part to more strict gun laws in Dem-run states. With that being said, sure, Democrats are trying to pass more gun laws, not because President compromised and reach across the aisle is taking guns away, but because they work. See stats and studies. Red states featuring red governors and red cities with red mayors, since Ronald Reagan, are lax with gun laws. So the idea is that the GOP wouldn't want black people to be armed and wouldn't start to present bills in order to encourage firearm responsibility or gun control. Leftists have a thing for guns. Also, I never said Joy Behar's argument was great, just that it's backed by history. Who's trying to take guns away? By the way, when I say that blue states have better gun laws plus lower rates of homicide and gun crime, someone in the comment section usually blames blue cities in red states, like blue states don't also have blue cities. Let's continue.
And what needs to happen, every law-abiding citizen need to get them a piece to keep peace.
That's
especially when these lily maids want to defund the police, the Justice Department. We don't have them anymore. You're going to have to protect yourself.
More guns don't equal more safety. And yes, people, civilians, want to defund the police. And if the Uvalde Police Department doesn't make you understand why, I don't know what will. But as far as funding goes, very few police departments and precincts even decreased funding. None were defunded. And might I add that crime spiked all across the country since the start of the pandemic in cities that increased their funding too? And that spike was driven by homicide, specifically with firearms. Diamond and Silk started this segment off with a faulty premise to begin with, which is the point. But I'm glad they ended with what they do best, a cosign, in unison.
And let's not forget that she is protected by security that have what? Guns.
Yeah, of course security has guns. Who's trying to take them away? For Rebel HQ, I'm Jeff Wiggins. My architect knows Japanese. For more from the Young Turks, stay right here. If you want to see content from yours truly, click on the hashtag below. I can also be found on all socials at He Gon' Be Alright. Thanks for watching.